Good morning, students. Today we are going to have a revision on elections. Elections are test of government. If government is good, correct, people are happy, the people will certify that by re-electing the government. If the people are unhappy with the government, people will put a stamp on governmental activities and say, we are unhappy with you and thank you very much. In India, general elections are held once in 5 years. That means the term of elected representatives are 5 years, except Rajya Sabha and state legislative councils. When we take the elections to the assemblies and to Lok Sabha, these are the most important elections. We have divided them into constituencies. This nation is divided into constituencies. This is all we have discussed today. MPs are elected from 543 constituencies all over India. When it comes to MLA elections, members of the state legislative assembly, each state has exact number of MLAs. When we take into Karnataka, Karnataka has got 224 MLAs. If you go to Goa, it is 40. If you go to Kerala, it is 140. If you go to Uttar Pradesh, the largest number, it is 420. So, it depends upon the population of the state. So, they are also elected from an assembly constituency. Any citizen who has crossed the age of 25 and having registered their names in the voters list can stand as candidate. So here you must understand, minimum age is 25. So, for a person to be a prime minister, for a person to be a chief minister, minimum age limit is 25. Whoever is eligible to get elected to the legislative assembly is qualified to be the chief minister, and whoever is eligible to get elected to Lok Sabha is qualified to be the prime minister. But the elected members should select him as the leader. So, leader of the majority party in state assembly will become the chief minister, in Lok Sabha will become the prime minister. The persons who are eligible to vote, the list is known as voters list. The election commission conducts the election. It is an independent constitutional appointment. Once the election commission is appointed, he cannot be removed by the government. He has to be impeached by both the houses of the parliament, and the procedure is not easy. See, impeachment procedure is for the judges of the High Courts and Supreme Court, Comptroller and Auditor General, Election Commissioner, and the President of India. These four categories of the people can be removed from their post only through impeachment. What is impeachment? I have already told you. So it is not easy to remove them from there. That means they are independent of the government. Government cannot transfer them. Government cannot even reduce the salary or the facilities that are given to them without their acceptance. That is written in the Constitution. So that's a constitutional law. So independent they are, because they may have to take a decision against the ruling party. So naturally, when they have to take a decision against the ruling party, if they are not independent, they cannot take a decision. That you know it. That is why such independence is given to the Election Commission. So Election Commission announces the date of election. The members can nominate themselves as a candidates. Then they can go around to the people and tell that I am the candidate, please elect to me. That is known as election campaign. When they do election campaign, they can promise the people, if I am elected, what I will do. That's a promise, election promises they give. And there is a date fixed for voting, that is known as polling day. So citizens go and vote on that day. Nowadays we are using EVM, electronic voting machines. So we citizens of India who are about 18 years of age can vote and select the persons we are happy to select. The candidates should have come to with their age, with their qualifications, with what they will do and which party they belong. And elections become strong and important when there are many political parties. So the political parties put up their ideals and the promises which they give, all those things, and the elections. Polling day is over, then counting takes place. Whichever person gets largest number of votes, he gets elected as the member of legislative assembly or the parliament. Here you must understand, he may get even only 10% or 50% vote, he also may be elected. 11% vote person also may be getting elected. Think if there are 10 candidates. One person gets 100 members are voting. one person gets 11 odd, another person all others get 10 odd, one person gets 9 odd. The person who has got 11 odd is getting elected. So his percentage is 11. He is also eligible to get elected. So the election commission counts the vote, announces the result, and gives a certificate to the person who has won the election, and those members who have got the certificate go to the parliament or the assembly, take oath, and they elect the prime minister or the chief minister, and form the government. Majority party, whichever party gets majority, it forms the government. That's the election procedure. And each candidate has to deposit money with election commission. The reason is that otherwise election commission cannot control the people who wanted to just coming for standing as a candidate. And those persons who get more than 6% of the total votes polled will get back the money. They will not lose. Election, it is done so that the persons who are standing as a candidate is really interested to win the election, not to simply create a trouble for the election commission. That is the reason it is. It is not to discourage anybody, it is to run the facility system. So the election is over, the Prime Minister is selected or the Chief Minister is selected, they run the government. After 5 years, again the same procedure. But the government can fall before 5-year term ends also. If nobody can have majority, no government or no political parties having majority, then also there can have elections. Then there is a by-election. By-election means in a constituency, if one MLA resigns or one MP resigns or he loses the post because of some legal problems, or if he dies or expires, any of those reasons, there can have a vacancy in one constituency or two constituencies. That is called the by-election. Election will take place only that left seat. And if only last 6 months are left for the end of the term of the parliament or assembly, there will be no by-election to that seat. Minimum 1 year is needed. If 1 year minimum is there can have elections, by-elections to the constituencies where there is a vacancy. So that's a election procedure in India. Then there is election to Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha members are elected by the MLAs of different states. You know that? Ordinary citizens do not vote for the post of MPs in Rajya Sabha. Only the MLAs are voting. The remaining members are nominated by the President to Rajya Sabha. You take it as well as explain more. So that's about it. Like state legislative councils also. Vidhan Parishad we call it. In Vidhan Parishad also elections are like that. There are seats reserved or there are elections only by doctors. And a doctor will be selected to the legislative assembly. Teachers will select teacher to the legislative assembly. A graduate will select a graduate to state legislative assembly, a council, like that. According to the profession, members are selected to legislative councils. That election is 6 years. Rajya Sabha election is 6 years. Council election is 6 years. Presidential election is 5 years. Vice presidential election is 5 years. So that is our general elections of India. Thank you very much.